What's up, YouTube? It's Hello Scott, and yes, this is the finale of the Super Saiyan God versus Super Saiyan 4 series. After the video, if you have any arguments against Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan 4, I'm not arguing with nobody. You're right. You can think what you want to think. You got it. You think Super Saiyan 4 is stronger, fine. You think Super Saiyan God is stronger, fine. I'm not arguing no more. I made hours of content debating over this. At this point, I don't care what you think. It doesn't matter anymore. This will be the last part. I'm not dropping a part 6 or nothing like that. I was watching some YouTube videos. Funny enough, I think Broku, it was Broku. He dropped a video basically debunking the Vegito theory in relative to Super Saiyan God. Because even when Goku went full Super Saiyan God, like when they only had the 5 Saiyans, he thought that could have been enough to fight Beerus because he said he felt stronger. Actually, Quick Post said it. Nowhere does it ever say that Goku was confident that he could beat Beerus as the false Super Saiyan God. It doesn't say that in the manga, on the dub, or the sub version of the anime. It doesn't say that anywhere. But to exclude Vegito from the Super Saiyan God relativity, I won't use the argument anymore, but nowhere does it ever say that false Super Saiyan God Goku was confident that he could fight Beerus. It never says that anywhere. All they said was that his ki was as high as it's ever been before. And if you disagree, and maybe he said in the Battle of Gods movie, but if you disagree and use that argument, well, that's the same movie that they said Beerus had to use 70% of his power against Goku. So pretty much that whole movie is retcon. So that's, if you want to use that movie, you can, but it's retcon, so it just doesn't matter anymore. To go along with this, in my part 3 video, one of my fellow supporters, Interjack, he made this, basically we went back and forth for like maybe 14-15 comments debating about it, and he summarized the list of what we're arguing about, and I will give my counter arguments to those right here. And Interjack, if you're watching this, if you find a counter to my counter or something, hey man, I'm not arguing no more, you're right, it's too stressful. And yeah, it's just too stressful. If you right, you're right, bro. I'm not arguing no more. Now, the first thing Interjack mentions in his comment is the Vegito versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku thing I was talking about how, you know, he can't be this strong because Vegito and all that stuff. But funny enough, this is misinterpreted by like 99% of people that come up with the argument, because it doesn't say Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the GT Perfect files. It's saying the Super Saiyan 4 transformation in general. The multiplier of Patora can be stronger than the Super Saiyan 4 multiplier. Because think about it, if they have 2 people of power levels of 100 billion and they do Patora fusion, there's a very good chance it's going to be stronger than somebody just going Super Saiyan 4. So using that theoretically, okay, the Patora can obviously be stronger than the Super Saiyan 4 multiplier, because, you know, it just depends on the sum of the parts of the people fusing. So I agree with him on that part. That's why I was saying basically I can't use the Vegito in relativity to the Super Saiyan God anymore, because, you know, that's pretty much debunked. Now his next statement was about Broly versus Vegeta in the Dragon Ball Super movie, and he claims that Super Saiyan God is only a 10 times multiplier on top of Super Saiyan, making it only a 500 times boost. And his argument was basically how, you know, Broly and Super Saiyan Vegeta were basically equal and relative in power. Then Vegeta went Super Saiyan God and Broly stood no chance. He knocked through all the mountains and all that stuff, and then Vegeta was basically getting ready to end him, or that's what it perceived like. Then, you know, Broly started yelling, raging and all that stuff, got 10 times stronger. Then he ended up tanking Vegeta's punch to the face. Now we know he got 10 times stronger because Paragus said he was using the power of the great apes without having to transform into the Ozaru or anything like that. But the thing about Broly only getting 10 times stronger is a little weird, because think about it like this, right? If him and Super Saiyan Vegeta were basically relative on par and all that stuff, Vegeta went Super Saiyan God, Broly stood no chance. Then Broly got 10 times stronger, right? Okay, it's all making sense. If Broly tanked a punch from the face from Vegeta, then he would have had to have gotten more than 10 times stronger, because the Daizenshu states you had to be at least twice as strong as somebody to tank their attacks. So it wouldn't make sense for him to have only gotten 10 times stronger, but then to immediately tank Super Saiyan God Vegeta's attacks. Now I guess you could argue, oh, well, they started fighting equally after this and all that stuff, but he had already tanked his attack, so wouldn't he have had to have gotten 2 times stronger? And if that was true, wouldn't Super Saiyan God have to be stronger than just 10 times if it immediately was able to fight equal with somebody that just tanked them? It kind of really doesn't make sense like that, but then again, it's Dragon Ball writing, so it hasn't made sense since 1997. And also, to back up on that, if Vegeta was literally asking Goku about a Senzu bean, wouldn't Vegeta think, okay, well, this guy's powering up, he's obviously getting stronger, maybe I should fight more serious? I don't think Vegeta would throw, like, a play punch at him while he's talking about Senzu beans. It doesn't really make sense. So it kind of wouldn't, add up to Broly. Either he did get 10 times stronger and Vegeta was holding back just to see, I guess to gauge how much he really got stronger or something. Or the God multiplier is more than 500 times, because, right after that, they started fighting evenly. But you gotta kind of pick one, because, that it kind of doesn't make sense for him to get tanked and then they fight evenly after. So either it's more than 500 times, or Vegeta cocked back, punched him in the nose, but he was just kidding and it was just like a regular play punch. But after, right after he realized Broly took 0 damage, he had a shocked expression on his face. So I don't know. So at that point, it kind of doesn't make sense for the multiplier to be only 10 times, since they started fighting evenly after, or Broly got stronger than just 10 times. Now the next thing he mentioned, about Super Saiyan God, is that in the resurrection of F Saga and Dragon Ball Super, Gohan said Tagoma was as strong as him at his peak, and Frieza in his first form is stronger than that for comparison. But to lowball Frieza, let's say him and Tagoma are the same power level, with Frieza being in his first form. As most people know that are watching this video, Frieza has multiple forms, and going up into his true form, his final form, he can get 226 times stronger. And him and Goku were basically fighting evenly, so that means that with Frieza's final form and Goku's, Saiyan Beyond God form, basically Super Saiyan God but in base form, some weird stuff, or base form with, God Ki, or whatever they wanted to do with it. That's not the point. But basically he's saying that they're only 226 times stronger than that Ultimate Gohan. So by that theory, the multiplier for Super Saiyan God can't be that high, because it's only 225 times stronger than Ultimate Gohan. But wait, think about this. Ultimate Gohan, it's fair to say we don't know his power level, right? So imagine this, right? I've said this number before. If you don't want to hear it, that's fine, whatever. Let's take 150 million, right? Let's just talk about Goku that just came back from heaven. Let's talk about Angel Goku, right? He trained after that Namek arc. I think he basically trained. He had training for like 10 years, 7 in heaven, 1 before he went, like 1 year in the time chamber before they fought Cell, and then 3 years of training before that. So what, 11 years, whatever. He had a lot of training. If that Goku in base form, who basically was training for the better part of 11 years, could not reach the base form of his Super Saiyan self, by the time of the Buu Saga, it would be pitiful. I think it's very hard to argue that a base form Buu Saga Goku that just came back cannot wipe the floor with Namek Super Saiyan Goku. I seriously believe that Goku in base form can beat that first Super Saiyan Goku. If you want to argue with me, whatever, it makes no sense how Goku would not be stronger than that in base by that point. Now, after using that very long stretched out point to, for this power level, I'm gonna say, let's say Goku, it has a power level 150 million, Buu Saga, just coming back from heaven or whatever. He goes Super Saiyan 3, 400 times stronger. That gives that Goku a power level of 60 billion, right? And Ultimate Gohan, there's been arguments that he's weaker than that Goku. There's been arguments that he's stronger than that Goku. Whichever one you pick, that's fine. Or if you even want to, instead of comparing him to that Goku, you could put the power level to just 10 billion. But for this, since there's arguments for him being weaker, arguments for him being stronger, I'll just put him in the middle. Let's say that Gohan's power level is 60 billion. Now, you tell me, since they got 226 times stronger than that Ultimate Gohan when they were fighting before they went into blue in their golden forms, what is 226 times 60 billion? If I did my math correctly, that is 13.5 trillion. And since Goku was basically Super Saiyan God without being Super Saiyan God in the movie, because Akira Toriyama basically said before he retconned himself that he didn't see a point of having Super Saiyan God return because Goku could basically just use his Saiyan beyond God form. So if we're equivalating that to Super Saiyan God, that means as filler right now, we could just say that the Super Saiyan God multiplier could be just 13.5 trillion on top of base form. And he also made an argument that the ritual Super Saiyan God is not the same as, just turning into a Super Saiyan God. He said that he never got that strong. He never got that much of a boost again, just going regular Super Saiyan God without the ritual. And, I don't agree with this. If there's like any proof of anybody saying this or like, a good video to reference me to like change my thinking or anything like that, please put it down below. But I really don't think that, they're different in power. Because think about it like this. Okay, so let's say I'm using the argument that obviously the Super Saiyan God multiplier has, goes up to the billions and trillions and septillions, whatever you want to believe. But let's just keep it at 13.5 trillion or whatever it's at right now, right? So Goku, he fights, okay. His next fight after Frieza was hit an 1,000-year-old time skipping assassin. I've heard the argument that, the God multiplier can't be in the millions of billions because, they'd obviously beat everybody that came across. But this guy hit as a time skipping assassin. Think about it. You would have to transform into a god to beat him. Now you could say, okay, well, he only got 500 times stronger, 2,500 times stronger, whatever. But if you're going against somebody who could literally break the laws of time, if somebody said I had to get trillions of times stronger to even compete with this dude, I believe it. You could say what you want about that, have your own figurative language, have your own logical breakdown in the comments. That's fair, but I just feel like, just in saying that, it would make sense to me. Now, the next big opponent I can remember after that is Goku Black. Now, keep in mind, at this point, Goku is basically just going against, from this point on, he's just going against gods and gods and gods. So, to say he's only getting just thousands of times stronger or only 500 times stronger from going into, well, he only went blue. So I guess that'd be 2,500 times stronger because, 50 times stronger than 500. You could believe that, that's fine. But it just like, I don't know, fighting people that can rip open portals in the sky and just go like, I don't know, what is that, 5D? I'm not up with the scale and stuff. Like basically rip open the sky, create clones of himself and all that stuff. If somebody told me they had to get trillions of times stronger just to take hits from him, I would believe it. You could, like I said, you could believe 500x, 2500x, that's fine. Now the next big fight I could really think of was just him going against Jiren. And keep in mind, Jiren didn't even have to raise a finger against Goku until he transformed into the God form. And then he got 50 times stronger than that, still stood no chance. Got 20 times stronger than that, still stood no chance. If it wasn't for Ultra Instinct, I don't even want to think about the multiplier for that. Obviously, they would have lost, but this video is not about those forms. This video is basically strictly about Super Saiyan God. Now, If Jiren was basically being compared to the gods of destruction and even theorized to have been stronger than him, it's hard for me to think, oh, Super Saiyan God is only 500x or Super Saiyan Blue is only 2500x. But it is logical to claim, oh, the ritual Super Saiyan God and just going into Super Saiyan God by yourself is different. Because if you were to say, okay, if that same Goku on Beerus's planet had only gotten, 25% stronger, he would have still got whooped. So of course it would make sense to say, oh no, the ritual made him 9,000 times stronger than whatever he would have been, on Beerus's planet. So it makes sense to say they're different. But it's just like I said, can somebody send me like a video with, factual proof? Well, not necessarily proof, just, it could be logical. If you can find proof, that's even better. But, logical reasoning as to why the ritual and Super Saiyan God are, not the same thing. Because me personally, like I said, you could disagree. If somebody told me they had to go against a time-skipping assassin, then somebody that stole their body and turned it to their own version of a god form, fused, got stronger than that, basically turned halfway immortal, then had to go against somebody stronger than them, probably somebody even stronger than the gods. If they said they had to get trillions of times stronger to compete with that, I would believe them. You can disagree with me or whatever, but at the same time, to say that Goku and Frieza is 226 times stronger than Ultimate Gohan, at their current states, if Goku had to power up into Saiyan Beyond God, then, he'd have to been trillions of times stronger for that to make sense. If my argument of Ultimate Gohan's power level being around 60 billion, makes sense based off what I was saying earlier. And even if it's 10 billion, his power level would still get multiplied by the trillions. I don't think it would be that low based off what I was saying, but you get the point. If you want to lowball it, he would still get multiplied by trillions using the logic of, setting him to be 226 times stronger than Ultimate Gohan, who was compared to that Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the Buu Saga. Now this next part is basically going to be upscaling Super Saiyan 4 more in comparison to, things that they've said in GT. Now I'm going to summarize it because this video is getting a little bit long, but he basically compared GT Goten and Trunks to basically a Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, from the Battle of Gods arc. And I would say that's pretty true, because if you listen to a lot of statements they've said, it pretty much scales up to them being about that strong. So I would say that. And then Super Saiyan 4 Goku said himself, if Goten and Trunks fusing with Super Saiyan 3, that's still not enough for, to even touch Golden Uzaro Baby. Which means that comparing their base forms to Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, if 400 times 400 times 400, which is 64 million, which still would not be enough for them to go against Baby with. So that means automatically the Super Saiyan 4 multipliers in the millions, because Goku would have had to gotten more than 64 million times stronger, because like I just said, if they went into Gotenks Super Saiyan 3, which they're both their base forms are stronger than a Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, that still wouldn't have been enough. So automatically that puts the Super Saiyan 4 multiplier in the millions at minimum, because them turning into Gotenks and getting 64 million times stronger still wouldn't have been enough. So that should already let you know, Super Saiyan 4 is nothing to play with. And now for this point of the video, I will break down and explain how I view the Super Saiyan 4 multiplier is based off Goku's fight against Baby, and the power progressions and direct comparisons of certain moves that kind of indirectly tell you how strong, what is what, and all that stuff, and I'll get into it now. Now, as a point of reference, I will be using Broku 72's Super Saiyan 4 multiplier video, as it makes the most sense to me. And he said he rewatched TT and he paid more attention to it in Japanese, so I'm sure he has a very fair and decent understanding of the show. And if you disagree with me, you can put it in the comments. We can argue about the multiplier. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So, as said multiple times, Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku was weaker than Super Saiyan 1 Baby. So much so that Super Saiyan 3 Goku was basically getting his attacks tanked against Super Saiyan 1 Vegeta. Well, Baby Vegeta. And in the essential states, to be able to tank someone's attack, you have to be at least twice as strong as them. So let's already say, Super Saiyan 1 Baby Vegeta is twice as strong as him. All the other roleplay stuff happened. Goku came back with his tail. He thought he was stronger. He wasn't. And then, when he came back to a Super Saiyan 3 Baby Vegeta, or Strongest Form 2, say whichever one, same difference. Strongest Form 2 sounds weird to me, but whatever. So, and we know Super Saiyan 3 is twice as strong as Super Saiyan 2, and Super Saiyan 2 is twice as strong as Super Saiyan 1. So that means it's 8 times stronger. And Baby, he was already 2 times stronger than Goku before even going into his quote-unquote Super Saiyan 3 form. And 2 times 8 equals 16. So it's fair to say Baby in his Super Saiyan 3 form was 16 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And then, when he went Uzaru with the blunt sways from the earth, Goku was either on par or maybe even a little bit stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Baby Vegeta. And then, a little bit after, he turned Super Saiyan 4. This basically got Baby scared, as twice as much he was already scared of the Golden Ozaru. Now, he's petrified of Super Saiyan 4. Then, eventually, Baby fired a revenge death ball at Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And then, they said, Elder Kai said he tanked it with a smidgen of his power. Now, you guys might argue what a smidgen is, 10%, 20%, 25%. Me, honestly, you could do whatever, you could argue with me, you could say I'm an idiot, you could say I'm stupid. Honestly, I think a smidget is 90% of Goku's power. That's just what I think. You could argue whatever, I don't care. No, but for real, I think a smidgen is probably close to 5%. And in Broku's video, he lowballed it. He said it was probably more like, 30, he said it was more like 20% in strength. Meaning Goku was 30 times stronger than Baby Vegeta at that point. Because the Revenge Death Ball he approximated the Revenge Death Ball to be 3 times Super Saiyan 3. Oh my god. I'm just gonna say Baby because he's in the strongest form. He approximated that to be at least 3 times Baby's strength, and he threw that at Goku. And he tanked that. So Broku's logic was he's 30 times stronger than Baby when he went Super Saiyan 4. And honestly, I think he lowballed it like a little bit too small. And since I said 5% versus the 20% he had, multiply 30 times 4, because 20 divided by 4 is 5, the 5%. So multiply that 30 times 4, I think it's like 120. I think Super Saiyan 4 Goku is 120 times stronger than the Ozaru form. Now to get that multiplier, then, since Baby was no match for Goku at that point, he decided he had no choice left but to go Golden Ozaru. And when he did that, Goku fired a times 10 Kamehameha. But as some people may or may not know, Kamehameha is 2.5 times stronger than the user. So, and then he fired times 10. So that means it's 25 times stronger. So this is a Kamehameha 25 times stronger than Goku. And Baby ate it. And like I said earlier, you had to be 2 times stronger than someone to be able to eat their attacks. So that means Golden Ozaru Baby was at least 50 times stronger than Goku. So 120 times 50 is 6,000. Now, funny enough, as stupid as this sounds, even though it would make sense for me to be more biased to Super Saiyan God, I'm gonna be honest. Since Goku, when he was a Golden Ozaru, was actually giving, Baby a solidly hard time, I don't really think they were equal. I think Goku was maybe around, maybe like 25% stronger than him. So 25% of 6,000 is 1,500. Add that together, that's 7,500 times. Now some of y'all may be saying, what's the big deal? 7,500 times? Yeah, what's the big whoop? This is 7,500 times Super Saiyan 3, not base form. So that means the base form multiplier of Golden Ozaru is 3 million times base. And like I said, I think that Super Saiyan 4 is 120 times stronger than that. So that means, this is no low balling, no high balling. I think this is very close and accurate to what it is. If I'm wrong, you prove me wrong in the comments, doesn't matter. I think the Super Saiyan 4 multiplier is 360 million. That might be mind blowing to, some of the people that favor Super Saiyan God and all that stuff, but I feel like it's true. Originally, I would have thought, the Super Saiyan 4 multiplier was 40,000 or maybe 400k max, just base Super Saiyan 4. If super full power Super Saiyan 4 was in the millions, fine, ultra fine. But Super Saiyan 4 base multiplier being in the millions, I'm not gonna lie, it surprised me. That would make super full power Super Saiyan 4, or however they said, 50 times stronger than that. That makes full power Super Saiyan 4 a multiplier of 18 billion, because that's times 50. And ultra full power Super Saiyan 4, even 50 times on top of full power Super Saiyan 4, which should make that 900 billion. Now, honestly, it was, I'm not going to say it was shocking. It was more so surprising at first because, I actually listened to the video, I actually did the math, went back and read the comments, and they actually made sense. I already know what you're thinking. Oh, you forgot to mention 1,000 times plus waves. And nothing directly states that he got 1,000 times stronger. And a good comparison example to this is the misinterpretation of the Vegito and Super Saiyan 4. People thought, like I said previously, it was, Super Saiyan Vegito is comparable to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, when they were actually saying, the Patora in itself can have a multiplier stronger than the Super Saiyan 4 multiplier. So it's kind of a misinterpretation like that, I would say. Now, if you want to go back and add 1,000 times into the math to, buff up Goku, you can. That's fine with me. And I'm pretty much just going to end the video off like this. I think Super Saiyan God is stronger. It came after, it wasn't really sensible. They made it seem like, such a strong form. It went up against, basically deity level figures. You can argue that Hit isn't deity level, but he is a time skipping assassin that, put Vegeta on the ground in seconds. So yeah, sure, he's not deity level, but he can skip time. There's nothing to play with. And while I do think the Super Saiyan God form is stronger, listen to what I'm about to tell you. A lot of people argue that the Super Saiyan 4 Goku that went against Baby can beat the Super Saiyan God Goku that went against Beerus. And guys, I can't stress this enough. I don't know why you're like stupid and dumb enough to take the other side of this, but I'm just gonna say this. Super Saiyan 4, that Super Saiyan 4 Goku would mop the floor with that Super Saiyan God Goku. I know that's shocking. I know it's shocking to some of y'all, but he really would. And I'm not saying the form is weaker. I'm saying that base form Goku is probably trillions and quintillion times stronger than that Dragon Ball Super Goku. Remember, he had like an extra 10-15 years of training, then got 50 times stronger than that the next arc. then got 50 times stronger than that the next arc, then got 50 times stronger than that the next arc. It's like every arc could get 50 times stronger. While Goku, you know, didn't even have couldn't even fathom have an idea of Super Saiyan Blue yet. So in that terms, yes, that Super Saiyan 4 Goku will mop the floor with that Super Saiyan God Goku. That's actually not a question. Now the forms themselves, I do think Super Saiyan God has a higher multiplier, but that Goku against that Goku, look man, 900 billion times whatever 600 mega million sextillion GT Goku's power level is, times, you know, 1 billion times 13.5 trillion. I think I'm thinking GT Goku, he's probably win that fight if I'm being honest with you. Now I'll say it again. I think the Super Saiyan God multiplier is higher, but I think that GT Goku's base is so exponentially stronger than the realm. No, that Goku that fought Beerus as a Super Saiyan God, that is no question. Like Super Goku, he'll get washed. Now the arcs after that where Goku went into the time chamber with Vegeta for 3 years, okay, at that point they're probably stronger. But before even all that Goku would get washed. It surprised me, but they debunked that in the comments too, so I'll be honest about it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and delete comments and all that stuff. I'm gonna be honest and own up to it. And funny enough, for how uncanon Dragon Ball superheroes is, no, I mean Super Dragon Ball heroes, it actually does kind of add up when you include like all this stuff I'm saying behind it. So where technically Super Saiyan 4 can have a worse multiplier, but if Goku's base is like fucking octillion, nontillion, then Super Saiyan 4 on top of that, Super Saiyan Blue, you'd be lucky to even up to it if your base has to be strong to even match up with that. So using that logic is very fair to, you know, assume Super Saiyan 4 could be stronger than Super Saiyan God. But at this point, I honestly feel like it doesn't matter. And now I finally understand why people say it's up for interpretation. It's too many numbers to calculate. Like, think about it. Once you get to Super Saiyan God, why even count the numbers anymore? He's a god. They said they couldn't sense his power for a reason. They got tired of counting this shit. Like, it was probably start to get unscalable, or they didn't want to scale it. Either way, I wouldn't count the stuff either. Like, bro, mega millions, trillions, quintillions, octillions, nontillions, bro, I'm not counting that. I see why they stopped giving numbers. So for the finale of all this, I'll say whatever you think is stronger. You think Super Saiyan 4 is stronger, fine. You think Super Saiyan God is stronger, fine. Akira Toriyama could do this and say, oh, nope, Super Saiyan 1 is stronger than both of them. Now I know that doesn't make sense, but you guys get my point. He could say whichever one is stronger than the other one, it doesn't matter. So it's up for interpretation with you. And like I said, I'm not arguing with anybody in the comments. You think this is stronger, that's fine. You think that's stronger, that's fine. I personally think Super Saiyan God is stronger than Super Saiyan 4. That is what I personally think. You could think opposite. If you want to debate somebody in the comments, go ahead. I'm not arguing with you. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. This took up, you know, a better portion of my YouTube life and gave me, you know, a solid amount of subscribers. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, please like the video, and I'll see y'all sellouts on the next one.